Well, Class A here is a review video if you would so like to follow along and practice before the Unit 2 AB quiz. So as I've been saying all along, one of the portions of your quiz will be the written portion with double object pronouns. What you see here on this screen are the exact directions you will see on the quiz. So please press pause and read over these directions because these are the same exact directions you will see on the quiz. Please press pause now and join me when you're ready. Okay, so first thing I have to do is translate the sentence to English. So let's find an example sentence to work with. Okay, I found one. So here's our sentence. Doña Mari pidió perdón a ti. So the first thing we want to do according to the directions is translate this to English. So knowing my vocab, I know that this is saying Mrs. or Ms. Mari requested, ordered, or if you want to be dangerous, asked for pardon or forgiveness from you is what I would say. Maybe you're going to say to you or for you, but I think these two are better, so that's why I have these grayed out. So there's my translation. Next part of the direction says, rewrite the Spanish sentence with the missing IOP. This sentence here is missing the IOP because if something's being done to or for someone, you must have an IOP. So, as weird as it is, I actually have part B above this. So if Mrs. Mari requested pardon from you, to find the indirect object that's missing, I would ask to or for whom? Well, you. So what missing IOP do we have that would match that? Te. Where will I put it? In front of the conjugated verb. So now this is the correct version of this sentence. And if you're like, Profe, how did you figure out where you wanted to put your pronoun? Well, you'd have to consult your pronoun placement notes, which should now be mental notes, but let me show you what your physical notes look like. Here they are. Same pronoun placement rules apply. You can put them before a conjugated verb or a negative command or attach at the end of an infinitive, present participle, or an affirmative command. And if you're attaching a pronoun to these two, you need an accent on the penultimate syllable. So that's what your physical notes say, and that's what your mental notes should be telling you. Back to our example sentence, what do we need to do for part C? Part C, rewrite the English sentence with direct and indirect object pronouns. So I need to choose pronouns to replace forgiveness and from you. So Mrs. Mari requested it from you. So I move this down to find sentence C. She requested it from you. All right. And what's my next step? Part D. Translate C to Spanish, replacing the objects with pronouns. Don't forget the direct object pronoun replaces the direct object, and I don't want any indirect object pronoun clarification, so nothing with a. So what would that be? Well, now, according to my mental notes, or right here, your physical notes, we know our subject, we know how to conjugate our verb, we know that our indirect object pronoun is te. We need to pick our direct object pronoun and put the happy couple in order, and then we'll put the pronouns in the appropriate spot in relationship to the type of verb we have. And then we'll ask ourselves, is there more than one acceptable place to put it? And ask ourselves, do we need any accents? This says add IOP clarification if necessary, but the directions specifically say don't use that. So if I go back to our example, we're going to have te as my IOP. What DOP will I choose to replace el perdón? Well, let's look at our direct object pronoun choices. Me, te, lo, la, nos, os, los, or las. I would choose lo to say it. I have to ask myself, what order do I want to put them in? Well, it's going to be te, lo. Am I allowed to do that? I sure am. So I'm going to put te and lo where? Well, again, in front of my conjugated verb. So I'm taking out el perdón, replacing it with lo. I'm taking out a ti, just using te. Doña Mari, te, space, lo, space. I don't even like how close those are together, so let me move this over a little bit. They almost looked like they were connected. Lo, pidió. And period, that's my sentence for D. I'm sorry, these are a little bit out of order. It goes A, B, C, D, but you get the point. How did I come up with all this? I just followed my notes that are now hopefully mental notes and the directions. Let's check out those directions. It says diagram all the sentences A through D to check and make sure everything matches and is correct. You underline your subject and verb phrase. You circle your direct object. You box your indirect object. Be neat. Separate words should be very separate. Connected words should appear connected. And additional bonus, if there's more than one possible way to write a Spanish sentence due to pronoun placement, write the other way for bonus as a completely separate sentence. If the placement is wrong, credit will be deducted. So let's look at this sentence. Our notes say, your pronouns have to be placed in relationship to the type of verb you have. Well, the only verb I have is PDO, so there's only one place to put them, so no additional bonus on this one. That's our first example. Let's look at another one. All right, second example sentence says this. Go ahead and think about it, press pause, and when you're ready to follow along with me. Part A says, translate the sentence to English. So, the host is casting the blame, I would say on me, maybe to me, but on me. I know we usually say that indirect objects are to, for, sometimes from someone. In this case, if you're casting the blame, you usually cast it on someone. So that's what I would say for this one. I've labeled it. Here's my subject and verb phrase. Who or what's being cast? Direct object. To or for whom? Indirect object. All right, part B. We need to rewrite this sentence with the missing IOP. It looks pretty good to me. The host is casting the blame on me. But in Spanish, if something's being done to or for someone, there must be an IOP. So what IOP is missing? Well, if it's on me, here are my choices for IOPs. Me te le no sos les, on me would be me. Then you got to ask yourself, where can you put it? Well, go ahead and ask yourself, where would you put me in this sentence? Is there more than one place to put it? Press pause to think about it. All right, let's look at B. I can put me here in front of the conjugated verb. When in doubt, in front of the conjugated verb. But what is this? This is a present participle. Present participles end in ando, yendo, sometimes yendo. Consult your real notes or your mental notes. Where do pronouns go in relationship to present participles? Attached at the end. So I'm going to have to move this over. I can attach the may there. This is all still too close for comfort. Let me space this out a little bit. Okay, so I can attach the may on the end, and if you attach a pronoun onto the end of a present participle, what do you need? If you said, Profe, you need an accent on the penultimate syllable, not counting the pronoun, you would be correct. Penultimate means second to last, and I'm not going to count may, so echando, last, second to last. Let me get a pen. You would put an accent right there. That's an ugly accent. But there it is. Part C says rewrite the English sentence using pronouns to replace the direct and indirect objects. So instead of the host is casting the blame, it would be the host is casting it on me. There it is, diagrammed out. Subject, verb phrase, who or what's being cast, it, direct object, on me, indirect object. And so now we need to write C in Spanish. So I'd still have my subject and verb phrase, el anfitrión está echando, and now I need to ask myself, what two pronouns will I need? Well, I already know my indirect object pronoun is me. What's my direct object pronoun going to be? Well, my choices are me, te, lo, la, nos, os, los, or las. If the direct object is la culpa, and I want to say it, I would replace it with la. Put them in order, indirect, direct, it'd be me, la. Can you do that? You sure can, so we'll me, la. Where can you put them? Well, in front of the conjugated verb. That's a little too close for comfort. Let's create a little more space. Or, if you're saying, Profe, I could also put them at the end of echando, you are correct. let me create a little more space here. We're taking out la culpa and replacing it with la. And a mí we're taking out because the directions say to, and keeping the me. So I can move the me. I can move the la. I could attach them at the end, and if I do, I still need an accent on the penultimate syllable, not counting the pronouns. So echando, last, second, last, accent there. So that's the other way you could have written D. So that's a little bit of practice with your A, B, C, D business. One more time, I'm going to show you the directions to have one more look, and I'll show you 2 more sentences you can, could, should practice with if you wanted to. Here are those directions. One more time. Press pause, take a screenshot if you need it. And here are 2 more examples you could practice with. Take a screenshot, write them down, do whatever you need to do. Practice with the A, B, C, D. I want to talk about something else. Follow along with me to another exercise to practice with. This exercise says, completa las oraciones con los pronombres adecuados. What is that saying? Complete the sentences with the adequate or correct pronouns. Well, let's think about all the pronouns we've been using this unit. We've got direct object pronouns for what's being verbed. We've got indirect object pronouns, to or for whom. Sometimes you have to change lay. I'm going to try to draw an arrow with my mouse. That's a little bit ugly. Or lace, to say. You know what? I'm even going to change the order this is in. I don't even like that. And you've got your pronominal or reflexive pronouns, or reflexive reciprocal pronouns. I'm going to move these though, because oh, I don't want to move that whole thing. Give me a second, hold on. Okay, I wanted to move those around because the direct object pronoun is the gentleman. He always goes second. So you're going to have one of these or one of these plus this if you've got both in the same sentence together. So now they're at least in order. All right, so I want you to look at number 1. I'm going to walk you through number 1. And if you needed to complete the sentence with the correct pronoun or pronouns, first I want to figure out what most of it's saying. I, my subject must be I since it's pago, always pay for chocolates, enter at the store, and, let me find my subject and verb over here, doy, I give blank to my girlfriend. Well, if something's being done to or for someone, there must be an IOP. So this, it's hard to write with a mouse, I apologize, must be the say that replaces lay. So I always pay for chocolates at the store, and I give them to my girlfriend. So what I really need to do is say them, referring to chocolates. What DOP would I want to replace chocolates? Ooh, this is a tricky one. Well, it's important to know that chocolates are masculine, so it'd be los chocolates. And so in that case, what DOP would I choose to replace chocolates? Los. That's what goes on the blank. So that's how I figured this one out, and that's what the answer is. What I'm going to do is show you guys 2, 3, and I'm going to show you 2 and 3 first. Pause it. I want you to think about them. Ask yourself what kinds of pronouns are going to go here. What do I think's going on? And press play again when you're ready to hear the explanation. So please press pause now. Okay, you press play again, so you must be ready to talk about them. This sentence says, my parents used to want or love blank a lot, but now they are separated. So what is it that they used to want or love a lot? I would say without further context, my parents used to love each other a lot. So this is a to each other verb. So I would need the right reflexive pronoun, and if they used to love each other, then it's going to be say. Number 3, I used to want a car, a new car, but my mom, no plus quiso. if you recall, querer in the preterite means refuse. No querer means refused. So she refused to pay for it. But we still need something here. So I used to want a new car, but my mom refused to pay for it for me. That's what makes the most sense. So to or for whom? For me. What IOP would I want? I would want may. All right. Gonna get a little bit trickier here. Number 4 has 2 pronouns to fit in, and number 5 has 2 pronouns to fit in. So I'd like you to press pause to think about 4 and 5 and press play when you're ready to go. Go ahead and pause now. You pressed play again, so you must be ready to think about them. In the preterite, darn, ver take er, ir endings, but no accents. So this is, I saw the perfect gift for Javier. And I bought, what would I want it to be? I saw the perfect gift for Javier and I bought, well, probably it referring to gift, and then probably for him, referring to Javier. So I need 2 pronouns here. So I'm going to choose a pronoun to replace regalo. It's being bought, it's being verbed, so I need a direct object pronoun. Oh, gotta get the right tool. Here we go. Since it's el regalo, it's singular and masculine, I would use lo. Since it's for Javier, I need an indirect object pronoun, to or for someone, and it would be le. And now I need to put these pronouns in order. Well, we know it's IOP, DOP, so it would be lelo. But hopefully you recall that you can't have 2 pronouns in a row that start with the same letter, so we're not going to lay low. How do I fix it? Well, you change lay or lace to say in front of a pronoun that starts with an L. And number 5, the boyfriend, groom, or fiance bought flowers, para plus infinitive, in order to gift them to his fiance. So he bought flowers in order to gift them referring to flowers for his fiance. All right, so I need to pick pronouns. If it's flowers, flores, I can't tell the gender, I just have to remember that flores are feminine, so them, referring to flowers, will be las, and for his fiance would be lay for her. I have to think about what order they go in. Well, it's IOP, DOP, so lay, las. And technically these are being attached to the end of this infinitive, so I'm going to smush them up a little bit. But can you lay las? Nope, you can't. So instead we're going to say las. And that's the answer for 5. All right, class A, and one last thing that I want to run through with you is just what should you know about your pronominal reflexive verbs? Well, when you took these notes, I first mentioned a pink or purple reflexive verb sheet, which you guys all got from either me or Senora. I cannot promise what color it was if you got it from Senora, but it had all of these verbs listed here. And if you recall, when you first took these notes, I said that the ones that I highlighted are the ones that you should be aware of for this unit. So you don't have to know all of them, but have a look. Have we seen any of them this unit so far? And then if they're the highlighted ones, you just might see them on the unit quiz. So it's not a bad idea to have a look at them. And so those are reflexive verbs where somebody does something to him or herself. Then we also have your to each other verbs where 2 or more people are doing something to or for each other, and we have some examples here that you should be aware of. And what else? Then we've got some non-reflexive pronominal verbs that deal with people's emotions or changes in conditions, and they just are what they are, or processes that happen to the subject, usually not people, so to like a door or a bottle or a mirror or whatever, your clothing. Okay, so these are those. And then you have your non-reflexive verbs that change meaning if they are used reflexive or pronominally. And there's one more on here that's a stem changer that I think I missed in the notes the first time around. I don't see it now. All right, so that's just a reminder of those verbs that you should know as well. Good luck. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you found something in here useful.